My name is Ed Smith, Deputy Fire Chief of the DC Fire and EMS Training Academy. I'd like to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for Class 390. We're going to start off today's ceremony with a brief video presentation highlighting their experiences while training to become the newest members of the DC Fire and EMS Department. Our distinguished guests are already sitting in the front rows, and please, at the conclusion of the video, you may take your seat on the stage. You may start the presentation at this time.
It is our hope that the mic will come on. It is our hope that you will find this morning's ceremony both fitting and pleasurable for the accomplishment of your loved ones. At this time, I'd like to introduce you to our honored guest, Class 390, being escorted by the Emerald Society Pipes and Drums Band, specifically bagpiper Dan Laughlin. Class 390.
How about another round of applause for our bagpiper today? Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of colors by the DC Fire and EMS Department's Honor Guard, followed by our national anthem, sung by soloist Daniel Donnell Hill. You may be seated. If I could call our chaplain, Captain Porter Lawson. If I call our chaplain, Captain Porter Lawson, up to this podium to deliver the invocation.
To the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, we come to you this morning And we want to thank you for watching over us. And Father, we thank you for just allowing us one more day to be in the land of the living. And as we gather together for this graduation of Class 390, we give your Holy Spirit full legal permission and authority to come into this ceremony, to lead us and guide us and direct us. And we thank you that everything done here today shall be done to your glory. We thank you, we love you, we give you praise, honor, and glory, and we thank you for all participating. We thank you for this class. We thank you for leadership. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Lawson. For opening remarks, I'd like to introduce DC Fire and EMS Chief Gregory M. Dean.
Good morning. So before we get started, I just want to make sure we give a big hand to Mr. Hill. That was an incredible presentation he did of the song. It's always, I always enjoy opening up ceremonies with the pipes. It just kind of brings that decorum to the event, and I want to make sure we say thank them to them and also to our honor guard. So if we can give those two a big hand. So I had an opportunity this morning to get out and talk to some of you. So for those I didn't talk to, I just want to make sure you understand that today is all about you. It's an opportunity to see what your loved ones have gone through. It's an opportunity to get pictures of them on stage. So they're going to try to run off the stage. We'll be shaking hands. I won't let go of their hand until you get your pictures. So come on up to the stage and make sure you get your pictures. We're joined by a number of dignitaries on the stage today. I want to make sure that let's see how many I can miss before they whisper in my ear. We have Jamie Gorish from the Legislative Council, the chair, Councilmember Charles Allen. Jamie, thank you for joining us. Johannes Fuller, Chief Operating Officer of the Department of General Services. Johannes, thank you. Johannes is, for those in the front row right here, Johannes is responsible to make sure that all your buildings have heat and water and all those, so let's make sure we take care of him. We have Gary Wiggins, Progressive Firefighters Association. Gary. And one of our partners that we're with all the time, Joe Chisholm. Joe Chisholm is the Vice President of Local 36. Joe. So Joe is actually scheduled to be retiring here at the end of the month. Congratulations to you for all your years. And my distinguished guests in the very front row are the people that actually do all the work at our organization that people think I might be doing. And that's the executive team right here. I have Chief Craig Baker, Operations. I have John Donnelly. He's got the, what do you have, John?
The Training Academy.
John has the Training Academy. John's title changes. We'd like to do that to him. We have Milton Douglas. He's got technical services. That would be IT. Ed Mills, who oversees EMS. John Sollers, who oversees our services division. And my right hand, Chief of Staff, Amy Morrow. So, you've spent a lot of time hearing stories about all the men and women who are responsible for your loved ones getting to where they are today. And before we get started, I want to make sure that I say thank you to Chief Smith, Chief Griffith, and all the instructors, because they're the ones responsible for your loved ones having the basic skills to be successful at what they do. So if you guys would stand so we can say thank you. So these stories you've heard about the monsters, and these guys, they're really not that bad, or at least some of them, let's put it that way, okay? Class 390, congratulations. I'm proud and I'm honored to have you join us and work beside us. We're all appreciative that you took this career path. Now, I'm sure you were wondering when you came in as strangers, and today you're friends. You've made friends for the rest of your life. Your job is to take care of each other. You know, in the sports world, everybody talks about the dreaded two-a-days. No one told you about the all-days, did they? Every day out there crafting your skill. And there's a reason why we do that to you. Because we want you to have your basics down so well that when you go out on your calls, you're actually able to concentrate on the big picture. I always think of a story about myself. When the first time I drove an ambulance, and I knew where the street was, and I drove all 5 blocks to get to that street. When in reality, if I wasn't so hyped up, I would have turned right out of the station and been on the same street. That's what the first day looks like. You're hyped. We are hoping that when you are out there and you go on your first run, that you won't have your eyes down trying to figure out how to put your equipment on, that you won't be fussing with your mask. We hope that you'll have your eyes up and you're looking at your environment, because that's why we train all day, every day, is so that the basics are there. Do you remember learning how to put your coat on? You don't even think about it now because you're able to see the big picture. Same thing here. We want you to see the big picture. When you walk into somebody's house, I don't want you to initially look at the patient. I want you to be looking at what's going on. What are they breathing like? What do they sound like? That's why we train you all day. We're teaching you to multitask so that you go home every night to your loved ones. So as you go out the door, you now have the basic skills, but you're going to have to continue to craft your skills every day. You've now graduated to two-a-days, so we train 2 hours every day. And that is to make sure you maintain your basic skills as you grow in this organization. You also need to grow as individuals and remember to take care of your families. So they've been very supportive of you. It's now your turn to make sure not only do you take care of your families, but you take care of your neighbors. You have been given an opportunity, and we want to make sure you take full advantage of it. We want to make sure that you represent the rich history of this department every day, whether you have your uniform on or not, because you now are DC Fire and EMS. We bleed you, you bleed us. So make sure you represent us well. So again, congratulations. When you go out, you're graduating. You get to throw your hats in the air, but catch them, because you must realize that we have a lot further to go. But we're excited for you. So again, Class 390, on behalf of all of us, congratulations.
At this time, I'd like to call Captain James Matthews, Jr. up to present the keynote address.
Good morning. Friends, family, Chief Gregory M. Dean, Fire and EMS training staff, and distinguished guests. I'll present to you DC Fire and EMS Department Recruit Class 390. I would like to take a moment and thank my Savior and Lord Jesus Christ for this day. I also want to take a moment of silence for the healing of the department loss of two of our brothers, Firefighter Wayne DePetra and Technician Alex Graham. This has been an extremely difficult and trying time for all. Rest in peace, my brothers. I would like to thank Fire and EMS Chief Gregory D. Dean and his entire executive staff, along with the training academy staff, Deputy Fire Chief Ed Smith, and Battalion Chief William Griffin for their great leadership. I would also like to thank any other officials that are in attendance today for being a part of this amazing milestone of Recruit Class 390. Special thanks to my wife, Nicole James. Thank you. But most of all, I would like to thank the families, friends, and loved ones of these amazing young men and women for their sacrifice during the last 6 months. On May the 4th, 2019, I reported to the training academy as the lead instructor of Recruit Class 390, which consisted of 23 recruits. I desired to create what I call a Tom Brady or Michael Jordan style commitment, dedication, leadership, and cohesiveness in which Lieutenant Bass was the man for the job to help accomplish that goal as my lead adjunct instructor. The team that Lieutenant Bass built was a group of young, steadfast, professional officers that proved to be a great asset and value to Recruit Class 390 and myself. The journey of Recruit Class 390 milestone started on May 13, 2019, when 23 bright-eyed, nervous men and women reported to the training academy. I would like to thank each family and loved one for their steadfast sacrifice, commitments, and encouragement for each of these amazing young men and women that would cross this stage as members of this great department. These recruits have met the fundamental belief of the District of Columbia Fire and EMS Department core values, which consist of bravery, accountability, safety, integrity, compassion, and service. Because these recruits have performed countless hours of crafting their skills in National Registry, EMT classes, Firefighter 1, Firefighter 2, Metro Awareness, Vehicle, Rescue, and Hazardous Material. I encourage each recruit of Class 390 to remember these encouraging words: hard work, dedication, and desire. The main goal of the instructors was to put each recruit into stressful, fatiguing conditions on a daily basis for positive reinforcement outcome. Well, we did it. We accomplished one of the major earliest milestones of our lives, graduating Recruit Class 390. This is a major step in the journey of your lives, one that should be recognized for its huge importance. It is an act not only of personal commitment, but also of pride. We all have worked hard to get to this day, and our work did not go to waste. The graduation event is not the end goal in itself. It is instead a part of the larger journey of life and career in the fire service. Wherever your future take you, let it take you somewhere of reaching your desired dreams. Life is a journey, and all accomplishment we achieve during this course should be taken as a starting point for future achievements. This graduation should serve as such a launching point, projecting you to wherever our futures are meant to take you on the District Fire Department EMS Service Department. Lastly, but not least, I would like to give special thanks to the following instructors of Recruit Class 390. Lieutenant Courtney Bass. This was Lieutenant Courtney Bass, 5th class, so I really appreciate you coming down again, Lieutenant. Lieutenant Sean Gillian, Lieutenant Oliver Gaston, Lieutenant Shannon Welch, and Sergeant Keanu Lofton. and EMS instructor, Captain Carl Robertson, who was not in attendance today, Gregory Valco, Andrea Jones, and again, I present to you this day, Recruit Class 390. Thank you.
Class 390, prepare for the presentation of certificates.
Class 390, instruct. Class 390, break, pace. Class 390, forward, hard, up, hip, break, forward, up, hip, break, forward. Up, hip, break, forward, up, hip, break, forward. Up, hip, break, forward.
As Class 390 is lining up, I would also like to take the opportunity to thank the Training Academy staff. As the Fire Chief mentioned with his team, we can't get it done without our team, and I couldn't get it done without my team. So thank you to all staff that helped us get here today. Especially our assistant, Lauren Williams. I always like to call her out, make her come out on the stage. Come on, Lauren. She is the brains of the outfits for the day.
Thank you, Chief.
You got it. At this time, we'll start with the presentation of certificates. Also, if there's any family members of legacies, please come to this side of the stage to come around, and feel free to assist with delivering a certificate to your family member. Also, I'd like to remind all the family members to please come forward to the stage and make sure you get your opportunity to take a picture. We will take our time to make sure everybody gets an opportunity. James Basher. Kevin Briscoe. Sierra De Leon. Andrew D. Pietro, being assisted by his father, who is a retired Marine engineer. William Dooley III. Haley Lloyd. Andre McManus with an assist from Lieutenant Jordan.
I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of both my daddies.
Congratulations, son.
Christopher Morse. Travis Murdoch. I'm checking. Okay. Craig Newby. Stephen Prather Jr. with his stepfather, Lieutenant Small.
That's my niece.
Good job, Steven.
Consuela Reed with an assist from her uncle Reed.
Congratulations.
Xavier Robertson. Kim Shaw. Eugene Singleton, Jr. Eric Slaughter II. Daniel Taylor. Peter Terwilliger. Congratulations, Class 390. If the executive staff could please take their seats at this time. Next, we will have Class 390 instructors come up for the presentation of awards. We'll have Instructor Valcourt come up to present the Recruit Academic Achievement Award for EMT.
So as Captain Matthews said, that one of the first courses they take is EMT, which stands for Emergency Medical Technician. That's the course where they learn to take care of people who are sick and injured. The book for the course, just so you know, is about 1,000+ pages. During the course, they did homework for each chapter, which was 46 chapters, which equated to about 3,000 to 4,000 questions. Each day they took a quiz. When all the 46 quizzes were done, it's probably close to 1,000 questions from the quizzes. They had to take 6 module exams, which was another 600 questions. They had to take a final exam, which was another 100 questions. If they passed all that, they had the pleasure of taking the National Registry and achieving their National Registry EMT certification. As with every class, there's always a person who rises to the top, and scores the highest in all that material. And for this class, class 390, that was Haley Lloyd. Go that way. Thank you, Chief.
Next up, we'll have the Recruit Academic Achievement Award for Firefighting, delivered by Lieutenant Gilligan.
The award I'm about to present was also a highly contested race. The prevailer kept their boots on the ground, did everything that was asked by me and the other instructors, and took the academic testing very seriously. There were no less than 10 chapters per test. Though there were several times that it might have slipped from their fingers, this recruit pushed and pushed at every turn. The award was separated by less than 1/3 of 1 point. For excellence in academics for the fire curriculum, I award Andrew DiPietro.
Next up, we'll have the Core Values Award, delivered by Sergeant Lofton.
Good morning, Fire Chief and Executive Staff, and to all my counterparts that helped me instruct 390. Good morning, Chief Smith, and good morning, Captain Matthews, and so glad that you let me come to the training academy to help 390. A special good morning to 390. Congratulations this morning. All right. Today's Core Value Award goes to a person who showed compassion, integrity, accountability, and bravery throughout the course. I present this award to Recruit Sierra DeLeon.
We also have an additional Core Values Award to be delivered by Lieutenant Gaskin.
Morning, family. Morning, staff. Thank you all for allowing me this opportunity. Before I start, I don't have an inside voice, so I'm not going to try to blow y'all ears out. I get emotional when I speak sometimes. Kim, don't look at me, because she's going to start me crying, okay? All right, here we go, y'all. I have the honor of presenting this award to one motivated young man. The first experience I had at teaching was in 1987 in the U.S. Army as a corporal. In 1988, I realized that teaching is like throwing a ball against a wall. The harder you throw that ball, the harder it comes back at you with that energy. It returns it to you. You put that effort into it. This young man here always gave me that energy. Whatever I get at him, he got back at me, and he gave me leftovers to go home with. He drove and motivated me nonstop. Some days we really push the recruits because, as the chief said, it's a stressful job. We really push them. And when you turn the juice, what happens? Something shakes loose, right? He stayed with me. I really pushed him, and I really tried him, and I couldn't shake him. He was unshakable. I would just like to congratulate, and I would also say, I ask, no, I demand, as your friend, as your lieutenant, that you keep that energy for your whole career. Chris, AKA Jersey. Morris, come on up, man. Oh, that energy goes for 390 also. Don't try to quit on me.
Next up is the Practical Proficiency Award to be delivered by Lieutenant Welch.
Good morning, everybody. 390, good morning. Get off my concrete. Today I'm here to present an award to an outstanding young man. He came to the academy new, didn't know much. He gave it his all every day out on the field. Never complained about anything, pushed and pushed and pushed, and just is an outstanding individual, going to make an excellent firefighter in this department. And the award is going to go to William Dooley III.
Good job, Willie.
At this time, I would like to have our two class speakers up on the stage, and that is Xavier Robertson and Sierra De Leon.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, friends, families, and loved ones of the DC Fire and EMS. Thank you to Fire Chief Gregory Dean, the executive staff, Deputy Fire Chief Edward Smith, Deputy Fire Chief William Griffin, and the respective officers for joining us to celebrate this significant occasion. The members of Class 390 have highly anticipated this day since, dare I say, May 13th. The journey here did not disappoint. Every day brought excitement, nuance, and an increasing amount of complexity. Our support network and leadership team, consisting of, but not limited to, Instructor Valcourt, Instructor Jones, Sergeant Lofton, Lieutenant Welch, Lieutenant Gilligan, Lieutenant Gaskins, Lieutenant Bass, and Captain Matthews all work tirelessly so that we would feel as prepared as possible for this very moment. For those of you who haven't been at the Academy with us these last few months, it might be hard to know exactly what we've been up to. Unfortunately, there simply isn't enough time today to describe every detail from EMT classes to firefighter training and all the things that transpired in between. So instead of intricately dissecting each phase of this experience, I have condensed it into 5 lessons learned by the Academy that I will never forget. Maybe these lessons will help you all to understand just what we've been up to. Lesson 1, and this comes directly from recruit Kim Shaw. Do not wait until you are half a century old to do anything. You see, recruit Shaw joined Class 390 having already completed 19 plus years on the job as an EMS provider. At 49 years of age, she decided to take on the DC Fire Academy to show these young kids how it's done. At no point did her age hold her back. Every day she fought, and dare I say, every day she won. Not only did she win, but she brought us with her, and all of our colleagues overcame so many things like long-distance commutes, car troubles, childcare dilemmas, 295 traffic on any given day, living on boats, and the general smell of blue planes, morning, midday, afternoon. Hard work, dedication, and desire, that's what it takes. Lesson 2, always phone a friend. I know this sounds counterintuitive, considering that every day from the hours of 0600 to 1430, you better not have had your phone, even if it was all the way off and in your bag, because you might accidentally pick up that bag one day, and it might just, at the right angle, fall out on the ground for everyone to see. But I digress. When I say phone a friend, I mean that anything and anyone around you can offer an unanticipated wealth of information or talent to help you solve a problem or answer a question. Aside from the formal textbooks and lecture, interclass relationships spread knowledge essential to getting Class 390 all here in this room today. Resourcefulness and innovation were also very important themes during Save Your Own Week when we practiced responding to the emergency of a downed firefighter. So not only will phoning a friend stop you from asking Sergeant Lofton for the 1,000th time what time we're cleaning up today, it also has very practical implications for the job. Lesson 3, the limit does not exist. Lieutenant Gilligan would always say to us on particularly difficult days, the only easy day was yesterday. This well-known Navy SEAL motto continues like so. When you work hard every day and see what you are capable of, yesterday seems easy. Each day as recruits, we grew and redefined what our limits were, both intellectually and physically. Things we thought that we could never do became mundane daily tasks. This was probably the most empowering aspect of the experience. At one point, even my preconceived notions about physics were challenged when we did the class maze exercise. I myself thought I could barely fit through the maze with all of its twists and turns and very little room for error. But then recruit Prather took on this maze with a whole different mindset. At 6'4", 275 pounds, he insisted that we all go through the maze before him in case the maze didn't make it after he was done with it. This is how one adapts, overcomes, and moved on to the next day with no limitations. Lesson 4, your team is everything. Class 390, we could not have made it this far without each other. We compete against each other to make one another better. During strenuous days in the heat, we would exchange glances and encouraging remarks, both to motivate each other, but also to confirm an appropriate score on the Glasgow-Coma scale. This accountability model mirrors what happens in the field with our companies. We are each other's lifelines. When in the face of a tough time, the department has shown us that in times of need, the DC Fire and EMS family sticks together and works tirelessly to accommodate the needs of their own. At the end of the day, we will always have each other. My final lesson, lesson 5, comes from Captain Matthews himself. Captain Matthews is always encouraging us to be better, to raise the bar for ourselves, and to police each other to do the same. One day, while communicating this sentiment, he exclaimed to us, "The expectation is now." Now, at the time he mentioned this, I was a bit preoccupied by looking at some of my classmates learn how to stand at attention properly. But upon further reflection, when Captain referred to the expectation, he was referring to our excellence, our intention, and our conviction. He was telling us that we cannot wait until we're out in the company, until we finish a test, or even tomorrow to do our best. Today is the best time to be better than yesterday because tomorrow will simply be too late. The expectation lies in the right here and right now. So Class 390, just remember that there's no better time to be the best you that you can be than right now. The expectation is now. Thank you.
Good morning. I'd like to start by giving a special thanks to Fire Chief Gregory Dean, Executive Staff, Training Director, Deputy Fire Chief Edward Smith, Assistant Training Director, Battalion Fire Chief, Chief William Griffin, respective officers, family, friends, and all attendees who are here with us to celebrate this momentous occasion. Class 390, we made it. My name is Xavier Robertson. I applied to DC Fire and EMS in 2015 in high hopes of being part of the best fire department in the United States. In 2018, 3 years after I applied to be a firefighter, like many of us, I received an email from the department stating I needed to complete a physical ability test. Even with perfect execution of the physical ability test, flawless interviewing skills, and quicker blue book filing than your tax professionals, I would not receive my call to be in the next DC Fire and EMS recruit class until the Friday before Class 390 began. Can you say close call? Although I was unable to give my previous employers proper notice before leaving, both employers were understanding of the journey I would soon embark on. I'm going to be a firefighter. Arriving to EMT school, there were many different faces from many different places. After the week or two of formalities, it was time to begin our crash course on the 1,300-page pre-hospital emergency care book. As we came to work one morning, our seats had been changed around. Great, I'm in the front of the class. Lucky for me, I was seated beside a true EMT scholar, Haley Lloyd. Throughout the entirety of that seating arrangement, Haley and I would quiz each other, bounce scenarios off of each other, and make sure we both knew information for an upcoming test. The concept of teamwork and family had been pounded into our heads since day one. As weeks passed, accountability for one another was at the forefront of every conversation. Teamwork makes the dream work, held true to our hearts, and we began to take a serious approach to working with one another to achieve perfection that was expected of us. With all of our actions being under constant surveillance by each other and our officers, it was evident that a strong sense of pride and class camaraderie was built and sustained throughout the entirety of EMT class. Most often, nights leading up to work days were filled with hours of toilless study, meal prep, and little to no TV watching. I was very serious about my prosperity and efficacy in the training academy. The first day of firefighter training, however, was much different. With the guidance of our EMT instructor, Gregory Valcourt and Adrian Jones, no longer keeping us sheltered in the pancake house, our new day-to-day instruction was led by 6 of the best firefighters this department has to offer. Captain James Matthews, Lieutenant Courtney Bass, Lieutenant Oliver Gaskin, Lieutenant Sean Gilligan, Lieutenant Shannon Welch, and Sergeant Kiana Lofton tirelessly molded Recruit Class 390 into something worth associating themselves with every morning. Now, knowing very little of the DC Fire and EMS department before entering, I was intrigued on the background of our instructors and would soon find out that every one of our Class 390 instructors came from running houses. The amount of combined working fire calls that our instructors ran made me hold them to a higher pedestal than ever before. Although I could only research what was videotaped, which was maybe 0.5% of their calls, it showed that these individuals paid the ultimate price and earned their rank, something I could only wish for. With all the years of combined experience our officers have, the citizens of the District of Columbia and visitors can feel assured that coming out of the academy is a strong group of highly motivated firefighter EMTs. Quotes such as, "Firefighting is a contact sport. Pay attention to detail. The only easy day was yesterday. And hey, I'm talking." All have a place in my heart and have meaningful life lessons and theories behind them. Hard work, dedication, and desire has been the battle cry since day one of EMT and will continue to feed my fire throughout my career. People like Pete Terwilliger, who took into his own hands the administration, finance, and logistics division of Class 390, will be a great addition to anyone's firehouse. Andrew DiPietro, our class liaison, who took on the heat from conveying messages up the chain of command, ensuring all of the needs of the class were met, even though he was reminded of his very volatile position multiple times. Guys like Steve Prather, Christopher Morris, and Kevin Briscoe were the brute strength and practical perfection to any of the yard drills we ran. Women like Kim and Shaw Kim Shaw, Sierra DeLeon, Consuela Reed, and Haley Lloyd, who oftentimes did skills better than the guys, are just a few of the many people who kept me motivated throughout my journey. There were many days where a simple conversation from any of these people would brighten my day, because sometimes waking up at 4 a.m. offered more challenges than I could have expected. A firefighter is a different kind of person. A firefighter is a person whose unwavering dedication to serve and put others first is expected. A firefighter is a person who doesn't take shortcuts to get the job done, but rather works tirelessly to accomplish even the smallest task. We are all men and women that thrive from the sweat of our brows and the grease of our elbows. We are all trained, certified, and constantly growing in education to better provide for the people who need us the most. This group of recruits will today be probationers, which means instead of cleaning toilets at the training academy, we'll be cleaning toilets at our respective firehouses. Needless to say, we've become professionals at the task, and dare I say, I'd put our talents against any custodial team in the USA. With all jokes aside, I would like to thank each and every one of my teammates for embracing me and helping me along the way. If I could go through the entire process from EMT school to fire school again, I wouldn't. National Registry was hard enough the first time. But one thing I can say with no doubt in my mind about this group of people is I've grown to love them all, and I expect nothing but the best from here moving forward. Thank you, Captain, Lieutenants, Sergeant, for making this a great learning experience for each and every one of us. Is everybody good with that?
Class 390, prepare for the official oath. If I could call on the fire chief to come up to administer that oath.
Flag and ready.
I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the laws of the United States of America and the District of Columbia, and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States, and will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of which I'm about to enter. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the newest members of the DC Fire and EMS class. Go ahead and turn around, you guys. All right, about face. This concludes the ceremony, but before we leave, just want to make sure I say congratulations to Class 390, an incredible job. We appreciate you, we welcome you, and again, to all the families, welcome to our family.